Gotta do the cane hotter.
It's heavy.
Good evening, all, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Downstairs. We are just three dudes that absolutely love horror movies. We got a lot to say on that. But we'll get to that in a moment. First, we're gonna go around the table and introduce ourselves. I guess starting with me. Born wrong, sent to summer camp to teach the staff a little something about self-control. I'm here to stalk the woods and hang out with my mom's desiccated head. And also kill in the most creative ways possible. I'm your nightmare and your favorite hockey goalie, Glenn.
Hell yeah.
Damn. We have to stop letting him get all the good ones.
Nah, that had good momentum.
That was really good. Well, I am your scantily clad camp counselor. You should totally watch the YouTube episode to get what we are doing. We love the bits here. And yeah, I just don't pay attention to people in the lake, and I don't know what happens from there. Maybe I last long enough to find out. All I know is I'm a California girl, and I'm Claudio.
They're unforgettable.
Sup? Head counselor Joe. I'm not putting more effort into this than they put into the script of the original. I'm just not. It's fine. I kid.
You're matching
Well,
energy.
if you haven't figured it out, we've gathered here today to talk about a very long-running franchise, a absolute SLASHIC classic. Of course, we're going to be talking about Nightmare on Elm. No, I'm just kidding. Friday the 13th.
I kind of love that this is the franchise that like everyone can kind of like shit on a little bit, because like it just feels so transparently like, oh, the other slow stalking Hulk of a man in a white mask coming at you.
Honey, we don't need that. We have Michael Myers at home.
But what if he was wet?
Well, what if it was a different
What if
first
he was
and last
wet
name?
all the time?
What if it was a different sharp object that he stabbed teenagers with?
What if it was what if it was opportunity? What if he just found stuff,
Fair.
And you know what? Communities are so neighborhoods. Yeah, throw that out. I want to camp. I want to go to the woods.
Well, I will say, and as I mentioned earlier, before we started,
I don't know what that character was. I want to go to camp. I want to go to the woods.
But what presents as like a simple rip-off of Halloween or Michael Myers, I think whether intentionally or otherwise stepping into it, really became its own thing, developed its own mythos, established its own tone. It kind of doubled down on everything and kind of went extra pulpy. But like whether it meant to or not, like we still ended up with some very cool innovations, some very like neat shots, some very like. I don't know, indelible lore that like we love to see, integrated into new things today. And like, without spoiling too much, like again, talking about loving 2023's Evil Dead Rise when we talked about The Evil Dead in the previous episode, I don't not love or not appreciate, I should say, the remake in the Friday the 13th franchise.
Fair enough.
So,
yeah, I think it is definitely one of those like it's a classic for a reason, and the fact that it was like made up as whether it was intended to be a ripoff or whether it was intended to just like kind of just coast along like no, we know what slashers people want slashers, we're gonna do the slasher thing. whatever it was, the fact that it very quickly became solidified as like this is its own thing. We've now gone from just slashers to now we're camp slashers, and like this created its own little sub genre within the like. It's just that's really cool, and the fact that it stuck around and became the basis for so many tropes that so many people pull from.
That's why I feel like it was super
True.
pastiche-y, but also like solidified specific things that then became ingredients for further pastiche type stuff.
We talked about it in I want to say it was Halloween is when we talked about how it's like there's no way that you weren't exposed to this in some fashion or another.
The origin of
Yeah, like this has been on The Simpsons. Like any time that someone puts on a hockey mask, you almost always hear the score go like
so between that and, you know, again, a direct one-to-one comparison with like the iconic score, you know, of John Carpenter's Halloween, you know what I mean? Like there are so many like, yep, white mask, check, iconic score, check, hulking big guy slasher in a blue vague outfit, check.
I mean, he has various weapons, but the machete is the iconic.
Yeah.
He will be taking out teenagers, check. But as you're, you know, to your point, like, all right, but we will throw a specific setting on it. It will be not just horny teens, but horny teens at a camp that is not watching the little kids at the camp.
And what's really interesting too is that I feel like with the original, it kind of comes across more so as like we don't really know what's going on. There's no basis or anything and what it leads into. But once it kicks off and you get that final little bit of like there's revenge and we're laying the story as to why this happened, that takes off and just goes for the whole rest of the franchise. And that became like just lore in and of itself.
You really don't know why Michael Myers is so pissed off at these babysitters, right? But like, you know, you're rocking with it, and you kind of wonder like, oh shit, it's crazy that something didn't happen to one of the little kids, you know? But like, in Friday the 13th, like all of that is made explicit. It is, you know, not just what if something happened to one of the kids, it's specifically what if something happened to one of the kids? And then, you know, the chain reaction of what becomes Friday the 13th and you know, who the killer really is and how that morphs and changes and evolves throughout really the first like 4 movies.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna ask the typical SLASHICS question of like, how were we first brought into this? How was this first put on your radar? Because I almost feel like I'll go first. Like this almost feels like this was ingrained. Like you wake up and somebody's just like, "Hey, hockey mask Friday the 13th. You know all this stuff about Jason Voorhees, even though you have never watched the movie before. I know you're 6 years old." Like I think I was first introduced into this in like elementary school. Like a friend of mine talked about like I think it was like one of the later ones like. Fucking Jason Goes to Hell or something like that. Like somebody had mentioned about it and then like talked about like the camp counselor killer and stuff like that. And it's like I already like Jason Voorhees has always been on my radar. I can't think of a time that I didn't know about it.
Much like how I think we talked about like having an awareness of slashers even as like wee little children, like even like years before ever like sitting through any of the movies themselves, just through like trick-or-treating costumes and references in cartoons and other TV shows and da-da-da. Like this is very much of that, you know, the same thing.
Like Ghostface's bloody mask, you had the bloody machete. You like that was like the hot thing.
So I'm saying, like, yeah, he's adaptable, but like he was a machete, you know, just like Michael Myers is adaptable, but like he was a butcher knife, you know, and like there were sort of like these very one-to-one comparisons, and I think like Michael and Jason in particular, more than Freddy, more than Leatherface, more than Chucky, more than Ghostface, you know, like, which I think was kind of the next one that kind of very much borrows, like again, white face, sharp stabby, fuck you teens, you know, but nonetheless, I think these two were kind of like the pillars that were like, yeah, we're gonna do this similar but different. Yeah, we're gonna change it enough on the homework so that you don't get caught. You know what I mean? Like, tweak it just enough. We're gonna Pepsi this Coke. Like, whatever the case
don't
may
let them
be.
know you copy my work.
Yeah.
But
where
like,
it's like where Halloween would have shied away from showing such graphic violence. This almost embraced
the
it.
antithesis.
Or leaned into it even more. Which again, like, but
This is like, how can we make it more visceral?
And I don't say this. I say all this complimentary, right? Because as much as it sounds like we're saying like, oh, well, plagiarist, fucking ripoff bullshit, blah, 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 blah. It's more like tweaking. It's more like kind of innovation sounds maybe too generous or too glossy, especially for something so pulpy. But
it's just a different take on it.
But it is like the pivot that kind of defines the thing you pivot away from. You know what I mean? That's like an important, I think, development in genre work where you have, as we've alluded to before, like these mascots. You know, to the point where like we eventually get a Freddy versus Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But before that was made explicit in a movie, like I think we had Freddy versus Michael, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the original pitch, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
They ended up doing Freddy versus Jason, which cool, like not complaining. And that's all to say that I'm not complaining about Jason Voorhees. I love this franchise, despite not having seen most of it. But like again, you're kind of like born in it, you know, like Bane in the Shadows. Like we have such this like pre-awareness of it. It's hard not to
see the imposing figure in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but whereas
and like I almost feel like we can almost thank like Halloween mask companies for that. Like, it's such an iconic shape that the creators of the movie made. But then it was like, okay, yeah, no, we can mass produce this though. Get it out everywhere. It's a cheap and effective Halloween costume, and that's why you see it everywhere.
That's what I was just going to say. Like we talked about in Halloween, where it was accessible to the public, it was accessible to like the masses, to allow that to basically do the work for itself.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that punk rock of like do it yourself, resourcefulness from anywhere kind of shit, like what's lying around and like
tattered up little suit up, hockey mask, machete.
Yeah, the outfit really doesn't matter to an extent. Like it's just like old and dirty. You got it. You nailed it.
But it is so funny that like I feel like I was pretending to have debates with my friends in like first grade about like Freddy versus Michael versus Jason before I had seen most of the movies. What was I trying to do? Like we were all just trying to mimic our older brothers or like trying to be cool or like it's what it's part of growing up, part of being a first grader is you're trying on all the hats, whatever. And like you're growing, blah blah blah. But like I think it's so funny because like you had like a shape for these things before you filled it. You know what I mean? And like,
which is almost part of the mythology.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
That's where these characters and these creatures kind of exist. Is in that sort of these are our new age folklores. This is our new age version of like the campfire stories that we would tell living we were living in like small villages and cabins and shit still, and it was like there were these tales of the boogeyman that lives in the woods to keep the kids away from there, or don't play in the lake because that monster's gonna get you.
Well,
that's the new version of it.
I love the comparison of like superheroes and cowboys before them to like Greek myth type things. This is like American myth making through film. I also love the kind of comparison of like the slasher crew of like slasher mascots that we keep alluding to, and like the Universal monster crew of like Dracula, Werewolf, Black Lagoon, Mummy, Invisible,
absolutely.
It's like that kind of similar crew, and like they crossed over, these guys cross over, like that franchise dipped in toes, almost a century
different
before.
Things,
We did not get an Abbott and Costello meet Freddy versus Jason.
We do get some like very comical slashers though, especially in the the 90s and 2000s, as we've been describing. But so I wanted to ask you guys in terms of like learning mythology and kind of getting into these. I know we typically ask like how'd you first experience it. I kind of want to ask, not to like spoil or jump or anything, but like given the general franchise of Friday the 13th, in which, I don't know, this hulking man in a hockey mask is just killing teens at a camp for some reasons.
Hulking man.
I mean, him, the shape, they are.
Or sometimes a woman.
I choose my accurate words carefully. Well, that's what I was going to say. I wanted to ask if we could pinpoint, because I don't even know if I can recall, but like when did you guys like learn? Did you learn before you watched the first one, or did you know the mythology, or did you spoil it for yourself that Jason Voorhees is not the original killer?
Oh, that was like my
13th
favorite.
franchise?
That was like my favorite piece of trivia before I even watched the movie.
I feel bad to spoil it.
Because again, being a small child and trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm so fucking cool. Like
that's what I'm saying though. You kind of seek it out.
I had heard it from somebody, and it's like it's cool to spoil.
I feel like this is I feel like this is one of the first biggest like fun facts you could know about movies as like a little kid. It's like kind of like my first fun trivia fact.
I mean, it's the reason Drew Barrymore didn't survive her movie.
And again, not knocking it, not trying to be snobby, but like this, it is that kind of like big totem thing. But yeah, that's
it's funny because I existed in the mythos as well. Like like I was saying earlier, Friday the 13th, the video game. I'm a gamer, sorry. Most of my stuff comes from video games. But like Friday the 13th, the game, the asymmetrical, where you had all these things. You could play as each Jason. You had like each costume, each mask, and it was so fucking cool.
I'm not a gamer, but like I think this sound, and I've never gotten to play this, but I read about it, and I always thought it sounded so cool how like you could play as you getting killed and chased by Jason, or you could be Jason, and like sometimes it was like a roulette.
And you get to pick
Yeah,
whatever
it's like randomized if you're the killer or if you're the
sounded like a
survivors,
cool,
or
fun
camp
game.
counselors working together. The segue I'm making to this is like I learned about the twist from the game because one of the things that grants you protection is canonically her sweater. In the game, it's like a boon that protects you.
Yeah.
If you find it, if you can find her in the shrine.
Oh, Pamela.
Yeah. So like that's where I learned that, and then I worked backwards forward. So then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and like Freddy vs. Jason was always on like MTV or something like that. So like if we want to talk first
It really
movie,
was. That and I feel like Jason X.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
No,
on like
Jason.
Spike
So
and
Jason,
MTV more than
No,
like...
I was gonna say Jason X was
FX.
wasn't it, it was on Sci-Fi more than anything. It
Oh,
was on
well,
Sci-Fi.
yeah.
That one was on Sci-Fi.
Space!
Yeah.
To the moon, Alice!
If we want to talk first movie, it'd be Freddy vs. Jason. But then I went back
I
and
think that might have mine too.
yeah,
Mine
1,
was
2,
Jason
3,
X.
4. I haven't
that
watched
was
them all,
close.
but Jason X.
Yeah, my
Jason
first one was Jason
Manhattan,
X, yeah.
remake. So there's still a few missing in between, but like.
I love that our
Sorry,
our
let
first
the
time,
bodies hit the floor, started hitting my brain, and I was like, just stop, no, don't, I can't, no, stop, no, stop, no.
Freddy vs. Jason was so new metal it hurt, and that's coming from me. That's coming from me. I will say, shout out one of the things that I absolutely loved because like we've talked about this before of like the vocalist of a band wearing another band's T-shirt in. Freddy vs. Jason, the van that they're always driving around in, they have a huge Misfits air freshener hanging from the rear view, and it's just a big crimson ghost. And I remember seeing that at a young age, being like, "That's fucking cool. What is that?" And then I looked it up, and I got really into the Misfits from there.
There you go, very cool. I'm saying, what T-shirt are you wearing?
Oh, I'm wearing my Every Time I Die ripoff shirt. It says "Drag the Lake. You'll find it's full of love."
If you enjoy Every Time I Die, or like other like kind of hardcore heavy metal bands, there's a band that's pretty cool called Crystal Lake.
Yes.
Check it out.
Crystal Lake is very good. No, it's so funny that it's like all of us, like our first movie in this was probably and not the first of the franchise.
And I think that's
which
just
is
reflective of our
hilarious.
ages, even my old
Yeah.
ass.
Well, it is also like there's far less
Freddy vs. Jason was 2003.
very like vapid use of sexual content in the later movies.
I feel like the Friday the 13th movies were like harder to easily watch just because they were way more wild. Like to what we were saying moments ago, like this was just, you know, as much credit as we're gonna give it because it deserves a lot for a lot of, again, what we're saying with the story, the plot, the camera, even like a lot of a lot of cool stuff. But like it is so much. I feel like the producer being like, Halloween with more tits and blood. Halloween with more tits and blood. Halloween with more tits and blood, and just like really, you know.
Which, admittedly, on my rewatch of the original, it's not very blue. I thought in my memory, I was like, this was totally such a just like sex crazed romp through the woods with murder, and it really wasn't.
It has like a yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll see like a woman in a bra.
You see more than
stuff,
others.
Yeah,
and
you saw more
by
than
association.
Yeah, you saw more than Halloween for sure, but it was like, oh no, that didn't come until later. And it's like that's when it's like, oh, you're just kind of placing that into your memory, or like having seen any of the other films. A lot of times the story overlaps, and you kind of start mushing shit together.
Absolutely.
So I think I've seen the first one in like high school, I think. Because then I know I watched it again in like my late 20s, and I was like paying attention kind of for the first time as like an adult. And like that's a huge gap in between. But again, like to what we're saying, like you kind of just already knew a lot of the lore, a lot of the bits, a lot of the, you know, scenes and whatever. And if you had seen the first one, like, I don't know, whatever. But so I've only seen that, and the '09 remake, so it's kind of perfect for like what we do in our /SLASHICS series of like just looking at the original and then the terrible 2000s Platinum Dunes oftentimes remake. But that like I've literally seen none in between, and like I've kind of I've looked at them, I've studied them, I love like understanding that like all the various developments of Jason. So like again, going from this random dude to understanding after the first one that in fact he is the son of the killer in the first movie, the killer being his mother, who was pissed off that the counselors didn't watch him, which is why he drowned, and that's why
and now she's also like so riddled with psychosis from her grief that she assumes that any camp counselor is the camp counselor.
That's how trauma works, and that's how if you've ever experienced
further
it,
getting
you will
expanded
behave.
upon later on in the franchise as well, that it's like Pamela worked at the camp, and it's like these are all just little interesting tidbits, but it's like you boil it down and it's like, no, camp counselor's bad.
And that's kind of
no kids at the camp, so we're gonna murder people.
Innovative to Halloween, which again we love for being kind of not explicitly defined, but it was kind of nice then to just have an alternative to give shape to both of them. Thank you. And so like you have like the sort of general but whatever horny camp counselor's bad, but then it builds that lore of like, okay, like if you're having sex, you're gonna get killed. Like
You're smoking weed, you're gonna get killed.
Establishing.
Are you just being like not very Christian? Then we're gonna kill you. Which is like.
If not establishing, then reinforcing, and again, so just like in both of those cases, like building the slasher brand, becoming like this thing, and like that's like very big and influential in itself.
Absolutely.
But so I was gonna say, without having seen any of the sequels, despite like being generally familiar with like a lot of their premises and different takes and all that, this, that, the other, were like the 2, 3, 4s big on like nudity and sex more so than the original.
The ante got upped for sure.
Because I know
it's
that's
like
what
happened.
2.
I feel like it didn't really
Not as
happen.
much 4.
Not so much in 4, because
I
I
feel like
want
it
to
didn't-
say 4 and 5 is when you start going down the Tommy Jarvis line of like.
4 is when Tommy comes in.
Yeah,
yes.
and then that's kind of when we get into like the Paul Rudd type of deal.
I was gonna say, which is confusing because isn't Paul Rudd also Tommy in the Halloween?
No.
Okay, no. Okay.
No. So Tommy Jarvis is played by
Corey Feldman.
No,
Corey
not
Feldman,
the same
yeah.
actor, but was his name not Tommy? Was Paul Rudd's character's name Tom or Tommy in Halloween 6? Which I was gonna say, I don't think.
I
Halloween,
don't know. I can't remember.
I feel like
Tommy
I know.
Doyle.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Tommy
that's what I'm
Doyle.
saying, Tommy Doyle. So again, Tommy and Tommy.
You know what's funny?
Stop copying me!
The remake of the Texas Chainsaw
Shut the fuck
Massacre.
up.
His name's also Tommy.
They can't keep getting
Thomas,
away with
right?
this.
Thomas,
the tank
Hewitt.
engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, regardless, I just think it's so funny. Like, young
Tommy
man
and
kinda
Tommy.
taking the place.
Yeah,
of their-
Tommy.
Another.
It's like a Tony Tommy.
I felt like because there is some like there's sex and like some nudity in the original Halloween, but I feel like they didn't get like super gratuitous until like 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
And
And
then
I
also,
think
yeah.
that's the same trajectory that they sort of took with it. It's like it's definitely the ante's upped in the sequels, and then it like peters back a little bit, and then it like kind of comes back a bit harder. Like I remember explicitly in Jason Takes Manhattan, there's a scene with a co-ed that is just very, very naked, very nude. But then she gets thrown into a mirror, and that was a
Okay.
that was a whole icky scene as well, because like she was trying to like frame like the principal of the school for like in an inappropriate relationship or something. You know, so that was weird. They very quickly were like writing themselves into the corner and said, make him leave and then have her get smashed into a mirror. It's like, got it.
It is absolutely insane that the first one came out in 1980 and then 7 sequels didn't even take you into the 90s.
Yeah.
1 through 8
Yeah.
is 80 through 89.
And you know what's crazy too? I feel like the sequels to for the Friday the 13th franchise, there's more hits than there are misses up against Halloween. Halloween has far more failures in those
sure.
remakes.
I feel like Halloween has like
In my
kind of
opinion.
retroactively kind of garnered through its like volumes, right? Because you have like 1, 2, boom, and then 3 is a weird one, and then 4, 5, 6, and then the 90s, and then Rob Zombie, and then Michael Gordon Green.
And then there's
It's almost like more, and then whereas if I may, for not having seen most of the movies, here is my one-word phrase take on the evolution of this franchise.
Oh,
okay,
this is great.
This is going through
It's like a blind reaction. it's like an unboxing.
I thought this would be kind of fun because you know this so well.
Yeah.
I kind of know the shape of it through various things, and I know you're kind of in between where you've seen half or more than half, but
yeah.
So we're just a great team.
I love that we're living up to our archetypes.
So as I
Really
said,
and honestly, it's not a bit anymore. This is just us.
What about
lived
in the
basement. We've lived in this basement so long that
always been here.
There is no playing a role. This is just us.
So this is 1 through 8, which defines the 80s.
It's why we've been locked up together.
And then there's the
finna
9th
roll.
movie, which is 93, the 10th movie, X, which is 01, and then, Freddy vs. Jason was 03, and then we'll get to the remake 09 in more earnest, but just again, because why not? So, number 1, Mama, because that's, again, Pamela Voorhees.
Pamela! Okay. Great fucking song from Chat Pile about Pamela.
Part
actually.
2
It's called Pamela.
is then Son, of course, because Jason somehow goes from a 10-year-old boy corpse to a full-grown man.
Corpse?
Whatever.
No, well, not even a corpse. He's like a full-grown man.
Is he not a Deadite?
So,
We'll get to that.
okay, so Mama, Son, and then NHL, because that's when he finally gets the hockey
That's when he
mask.
dons the mask.
So, because it was not
Because he was
there.
wearing a potato sack in
Yes.
the first one.
Well,
Yeah.
not even there in the first one, because it's the mom or whatever.
Yeah.
And the second one is Bagface. Third one, he finally gets his hockey mask. Fourth one was Goodbye, because that was the final chapter. Next one was Hello, because that's the new beginning.
We're back!
Next one was Just Kidding, because we know you didn't like that previous one, so okay, sorry. And then seven was Or Are We? Because that subtitle was New Blood. So again, trying to just we're gonna try again, we're gonna just read
Which
whatever.
is honestly okay. So New Blood. I might be throwing myself under the bus here because I get them mixed up all the time. I believe New Blood was the one where it actually wasn't Jason.
Is that the Tommy of that one?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was his name
that
was
the last time
Roy.
they tried?
His
Okay.
name was Roy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was somebody impersonating Jason Voorhees.
It sounds lame.
Yeah.
The next one, 8.
That's the blue mask, right? It's got the white with the blue stripes on it.
I don't think it's the Blue Stripes.
Oh.
It
I
is-
might be calling out the wrong one. And then
if we're already mentioning how in the first one it's Pamela Voorhees the mother, and then the second one is Jason with the bag, but then the third one is the hockey mask. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Well, through 8, they all have very subtle differences in the hockey mask. They stuck with the hockey mask. They figured that was the winner. They were right, and they stuck with it. But the number of holes, the color of the triangles, their shape, their placement, that kind of slightly changes.
that was New Beginning.
Because New Blood is the...
Yeah, when it splits open.
Yes.
We get the really that's probably one of my favorite faces too.
And then 8 is just New York for me, because that is when Jason takes
Jason, he
Manhattan.
takes Manhattan just much like a Muppet.
That's the one.
Is he a Deadite? Is he a Muppet? What's going on?
That's the one I'm most excited to
Dude,
get.
that one's so good.
Honestly,
That one also gets something right in this entire franchise, in my opinion. This is the only one that proves that a man that resides in a lake that is soaked through to literally his bones makes noises when he fucking walks. This is the only movie that you hear squishing.
I do love the clip of him just fucking up someone's boombox
Yeah.
on the sidewalk. That just cracks me up. That was very
Jason
very
Takes
funny.
Manhattan's also the I'm gonna square up with Jason.
Don't spoil it for me. Well then, and so 9 really alters the mask, because that's when in '93 they needed to
Final
not only
Friday.
kill Jason but then reincarnate him with the supernatural ability to shapeshift into folks or something to that effect.
Yes, he is
And he's got a metal mask.
he is a condensed
worm.
evil worm, and the mask really doesn't make
So
an
does
appearance
he
throughout the
shapeshift, or does he person hop?
person hops.
Oh, that's even
Yeah,
worse.
he's
Okay.
more of like an evil parasite.
But then, in 2001, the 10th final Friday the 13th movie abandons, Friday the 13th.
This
or
is
as
when
did-
Metal Mask.
As did the previous one. I mean, it was Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday. They at least mentioned Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is just Jason X. Just Jason 10. who cares what date it was? Because it's actually the future, and they're in space, and they made it work, and it's ridiculous and absurd and so
And he
silly.
fights a fucking android.
Why not?
I'm so happy that shit's on Tubi.
It's
He
so
becomes
good.
a cyborg. He fights.
Yes,
That
yeah,
man,
yeah. He gets
it's-
he gets augmented. It's really cool. There's also a very incredible scene with some liquid nitrogen that happens. I love that bit.
You can't
beautiful
talk
work.
about Jason X without that scene.
Then, not 2 years later, do we get Freddy vs. Jason, which was absolutely.
Which 100% would have been our SLASHICS. It would have been.
Oh yeah, for
Had-
sure.
Oh,
2003.
Had
perfect.
09 not happened.
I was gonna say.
Kelly Rowland changed history, is all I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay. Wait, are you referencing H2O?
No,
Or, I
Kelly
mean-
Rowland in Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh,
and her
okay, sorry.
lovely one-liner that she says to Mr. Krueger
Which
about
one?
his sweater.
Which was. Oh.
Please look it up. For
Oh, okay.
I don't want to throw.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of wears Christmas sweater?
Okay, very good. Well, I was gonna say that Freddy vs. Jason seemed to absolutely be partly, at least, the result of what was it? The Saduko versus what's her face? Grudge.
Ring versus Grudge.
Grudge versus Ring.
Ju-on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to fuck up the names.
Sadako versus
Ringu.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
But like I think that was like the previous year or something like, and I felt like they were very much like, okay, let's get a jump on that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they were trying to do Michael versus Jason or Jason versus Michael, and they couldn't, and it ended up being Freddy versus Jason.
It just wouldn't have worked out because he would have popped on screen and went, yeah, baby, yeah.
we can get into how we
Is that
feel
the
about
wrong Mike Myers?
we can get into how we feel about each of these. I know we're really going to focus on the original
sure.
and now the 09, which is the final of the I think 12 movies.
No.
For now.
Well, at the moment,
Yeah.
because since 2009, when this has come out, it's like since been in like legal hell, no pun intended, but like there's been fierce battles over the rights. It's now going to be a series, Camp Crystal Lake, which was originally
legal
going...
issues, production issues. Like it's been a mess, but I am looking forward to it because they are shooting in the original location, if I remember correctly.
And it
which is
was
cool.
going to be showrun by Brian Fuller. I was super pumped for that because I love him from Hannibal, among other things. But it ended up not working out for whatever reasons. And now, shoot, it's the co-writer of. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I looked this up. I have it specifically. Hold on, 2 seconds on my phone, like a professional.
While you search that up.
Well, no, it's right here. So sorry. Brad Caleb.
of
is going
course.
to be because what has he done?
I don't know.
Oh shit.
That
Are
guy.
you looking for films he's done?
Brad Caleb?
Yeah,
Or
he's like the
TV.
co-writer of something. Oh, here we go. Welcome to Derry co-showrunner.
Oh, okay.
Brad Caleb.
Which has been
Kane.
getting quite a good reaction. I have not watched it, but it's been getting quite a good reaction from audiences, which
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
He's
pretty
apparently
excited about.
going to be doing Camp Crystal Lake, the TV series,
Ooh,
which may or
okay.
may not be like distributed by A24 or something like that. They were in the bidding war.
It's serving as a studio. Wow.
So there you go.
I like that A24 is starting to reach out into series stuff work, because I feel like they've kind of dipped in quality a little bit recently with their full-length features. So
Oh, sure. Well, they've spread themselves thin after
Yeah.
a lot of success, which, you understand.
It happens.
But you
It's
hope they
growing
can pull
pains.
back. And
Yeah.
yeah, I hope so. But, yeah. So those are the 12 movies and the upcoming TV series. And, as per our SLASHICS, we're going to mostly focus on the original versus the 09 remake because I gotta say, even with Freddy vs. Jason being what it is, and those fights are, whatever. They're at least better, I think, than some of the Alien vs. Predator fights of the 2000s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, again, another
Weirdly,
versus
though, color
2000s.
grading is all the same.
Lot of
Why was
similarities.
everything shot on a blue filter
Blue,
back then?
Super blue. Everyone's chewing ice gum, or what was it, Sense 5 or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was all
5
5 gum, yeah.
I
And
was-
it's like it's always everything's blue, and we need so many fucking glow sticks for no fucking reason.
Before we jump talking about future projects, in July, it was by Robbie Barsamian. They revealed, obviously we know there's a new game in the works, but there's also apparently a new film in the works as of July.
Okay.
So no new update, just that it is in the works. So I'm assuming it's, building
It
itself.
means
so
somebody owns the rights, and they
they
could
wanna-
be
I'm
pressing
wondering
forward,
how-
yeah.
Whether that was at all tied into the TV Unless the TV series is not going to be a series anymore. I think it is, though.
Oh, it
maybe
is, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was both. Maybe
I would be if it's multiple like studios and stuff. But
12 seasons in a movie.
Ah!
Or 12 episodes in a season.
12 movies in it, yeah.
12 movies in a season.
yeah, it was confirmed. That
Abed got it
A24
wrong.
has Crystal Lake, but it was at actually San Diego Comic-Con that was announced. So
Nice.
high hopes.
Pays to
but-
go to those things.
No, because it's been a while. 09, we're going back
Yeah.
16, we'll be 17 or more years. Which is kind of nice, because, like, you know, we've had a lot of Halloweens lately, you know, we're getting more Exorcists, like, you know, not that I'm, like, not going to be appreciating Mike Flanagan's take
Absolutely.
when that eventually hits. But, yeah, we're going to focus on the 09 Friday the 13th, because, like, it doesn't involve anyone else. It is pure Jason Voorhees, and holy cow.
Yeah.
Lot to say.
Yeah. But we'll get to that.
Where do we dive?
But
into
first.
this?
We'll hop back 45 years, because it's almost 50 years since the original. How crazy.
May 9th,
I just did that. It was
1980.
mental math that I just did, and I hope it was correct.
It was. Yeah.
Good. I don't do numbers. All right, so okay, the original. On your rewatches, like what did you guys like really just kind of what hit you right out the gate that you were like, oh, this hits a little differently in any fashion? Like what jumped out about this movie for you?
So this is the moment where you're gonna hear that I'm not the Paula Abdul you thought I was. This is my least favorite of any of the slashic franchises, like the big heads. Friday the 13th is the one that does not. It's not.
The franchise on the whole, or that specific original
That
first
specific,
movie?
I think it's that specific.
yes.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yes to both.
Okay, I'm with you on the movie maybe, but like I have.
I mean,
affection
granted,
for
I need to
franchise.
finish the whole thing so I can have a
Yeah.
more developed. But like from what I've seen from 1 through 4, it just doesn't grab me. Maybe because I ride Halloween in such a way, and it's like I feel like this is Halloween's. This is Halloween's younger brother who wants to be cool, like
Yeah.
his older brother.
His horny, weed smoking younger brother. that
He
just
got
can't-
in. He got in
can't
with
do
the
his
wrong
homework.
crowd. He got in with the wrong crowd. His sophistication level's a little less.
Now, like that's not to say like the kills impressive.
He's got charm.
The-
He's a good kid. Give him a shot. You're too hard on him.
Oh,
Sorry, go on.
heavens forbid! The one time I decided.
Can I say that's a work joke that we're just whenever anyone ever like bitches about, we're just our first response is like, you're too hard on him. He's a good kid. Just so that like, oh, fuck you.
It's so mean.
Crash out
It's so
immediately. But like
not supportive.
I respect it for how it fits into the timeline and its importance to everything. But every time I watched, Friday the 13th, I was like, besides the obvious, the twist, really cool.
Yeah.
The words. Them implementing the twist into the next movie and how it like kind of counters like, she's kind of like, sweater protects me, like, and how that, like, I give credit, like, when has that been done before? Not really. Where beating the lore with the lore kind
Yeah.
of deal.
Well, and I this is not something I picked up on myself, but like after I recently rewatched the 09 one and logged it on Letterboxd as I do, a mutual friend of ours that I've never met, who will remain nameless, commented on it, and I was very appreciative of it. But he mentioned how he appreciates how this is like really a cool, or the fact that it covers the first 4 movies. And like it chose to kind of isolate that lore, that section of the mythos.
I did think
before
about that,
things
yeah.
got kind of like wonky, and like it really kind of honed in on all the bits that like make it something unique, that give it its like more lore and mythology and like kind of backstory, and like it's a terrible movie, and we'll get there when we get there. I'm not trying to skip over the first one, but like. It does so many dumb things, but like it does, some things cleverly, and including so much of the lore and hitting on the important things and kind of reinforcing the stuff that people care about in terms of like the evolution of the mask, what's up with mom, and
Absolutely.
moves with like lookalikes and sweaters and necklaces and incorporating that kind of stuff, and making it more revengey and all that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think timeline-wise. This happened before Nightmare on Elm Street.
So that's 11. I believe. if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think so. I think it was 2011. Is when
No, I'm sorry. I'm going back to OG.
Or the original.
Yeah.
84 is the
Yeah.
I
original?
believe so. Only because the next thing that in appreciating it, like
Ooh. Sorry, no, go ahead.
not in like being like the oh my god, like I'm trying to find good things about it, but like things I do appreciate about it as a whole in a media is like, you know, the twist ending.
Sure.
I'm sorry, which?
Friday the just
the
imagine
first.
which one did it first.
Between...
Friday and Nightmare. And it was Friday. The boat.
Yeah.
The boat versus where they like do the little like, you know, end thing. Yeah.
Through the door, yeah.
So like, you know, that's
Oh, at the
that's
end, jump
nice.
scares.
I was going to say, funny that, you know, Halloween has Jamie Lee Curtis. Friday the 13th has Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nightmare on Elm Street has Johnny Depp. And
Yeah.
then we haven't really talked about this guy much, you know, especially in the mascot department. But, you know, Leprechaun famously has Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The Fly has Jeff Goldblum.
Of course.
I'm just going off the top of my head right now. Like, the first three I had because slashers, but now I'm just, like, riffing. Can we think of any other weird horror sci-fi genre picks that were, like, big names kind of first forays? I think, who was in Masters of the Universe? That was another Friends lady. Wasn't it the other one, Courtney Cox?
Masters of the Universe?
Do you not know?
You're talking
Masters
about
of
the
the
action
Universe?
show?
Yeah, like the He-Man one.
that's
Dolph
Courtney.
Lundgren was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but also I think it's Courtney Cox, right?
It is. Julie Winston
Oh.
is Courtney Cox.
So I'm
Swift.
just saying, like, I love that horror, weird sci-fi.
I was gonna say, I think like Flash
more
Gordon
mainstream.
had somebody that was like kind of blew up in it, but that's old.
It's going back.
Yeah.
No, good on you
Flash
if
Gordon.
that's anyone. But no, I love that trend.
So this was not Kevin Bacon's first movie.
Oh, true.
For sure.
I just including folks.
Before this, he was in
Well, also.
another movie that was kind of co-ed romp kind of deal.
I thought you were gonna say later Tremors. But
Oh no, this was he was in pretty much playing kind of the same character. He was in Animal House.
Oh my God! Sure. Yeah, right. Of course.
And then I think it was literally like a few years after Friday the 13th, Footloose. Like you just
Yeah, 80s.
just jumped right on into that.
That's why we love the game of
So I
6
think
degrees of.
yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
So I think as far as like trying to give credits or accolades to the original, like obviously the original is the original. There's a lot of things that were done right. There was a lot of things that was done wrong in my opinion.
What does that mean?
So personally, this movie was very like kind of fast and loose the way that it kind of came across. Like we had our setup and everything and we got there, but I feel like we kind of ran out of dialogue in the writer's room real fast.
Or it was very naturalistic and hey, do what you feel based on your interpretation of the script.
Yeah, but then you also have scenes where it's just like
Theater.
somebody saying, Billy, Billy,
Teddy.
Billy, like she just doesn't know what to say past that, and like she didn't want to improvise. So it's like there was things that could have been done better for sure. And then it's like, and then the dialogue didn't pick back up until Pamela showed up, and then it's like, well, we have this whole monologue written for Pamela.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ripping off Stepford Wives. It's fine.
Yeah, but it was like all of that aside.
Get him.
It may have been super loose with the dialogue, may have been just like, okay, we're really gonna sit on a scene though. And that's really what I liked was the editing. Was coming into stuff and really just kind of letting a scene breathe. Like we met like the one camp counselor when she walked into town and it was like there's no music. That was weird. There's no music. It's very quiet, and you just see her walking down the road, and we're really just kind of taking this scene slowly. She meets the dog, walks into the diner, and it's like that kind of stuff just breathing in a scene, I think goes miles. And I think that it's stuff like that came through in Violent Nature, where it was like, it kind of feels the same, where we're going to let a scene breathe and just let the world be itself for a moment. That I truly appreciated. I didn't love how fucking dark this whole movie was.
That's actually what you just reminded me what I meant to say earlier. I said I was like making comparisons to Evil Dead. I didn't mean to compare how much I love the 23 Evil Dead Rise to like, the originals of Evil Dead. I didn't mean to compare that to the '09 Friday the 13th. I meant to compare it to the 2024 In a Violent Nature, because that is so Jason coded, which I didn't fully realize until after watching the '09 remake, because like again, like it especially in the woodsy bit, and especially with the '09 Jason, again, like being a little bit more like fast and, you know, coordinated and like using more tools.
Yeah, he's over here with a fucking bow and arrow hitting people on a boat. Like, what the fuck?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate
It was stupid.
And
But
I
anyway.
love, well, because I also love in Violent Nature, it is walking simulation, don't get us wrong. He walks. That is a walking dude. He's loyal to cardio. But he's also, like, not uncapable, and, like, he has motor skills, and he will, like...
He threw so many people around in that. Like, it was crazy.
I don't doubt that dude whose name I think is Johnny something.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get that sequel.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
But yeah, so anyway, the you know, sort of in the last couple years, like things
letting
coded
things
from
breathe.
original, but
And
also
it's-
that's cool too.
The editing was done really well. As far as like from a technical standpoint, I didn't love how dark the film was. I don't know if it's a thing with like new TVs now, or the way that like the 4K.
I don't remember that necessarily being the case when I was watching it. But
Yeah, I don't know if it's like if it's a interface issue, or if it's like the 4K remasters or whatever it is.
it's grainy as shit regardless.
Yeah, it's grainy, but it's like I feel like so many films just try to do night, and it just comes across as being black until like some sort of light comes on, and then it's like either the room fully illuminates for no fucking reason, or it's like you're looking at a candlelight and you still can't tell what the fuck is happening.
Interiors are one thing, because you should be able to control the room, and if you don't, shame on you for turning on the camera a little bit. But exteriors, like, I mean, you know, you do what you can. And, like, I think it's so interesting when, you know, movies would try to attempt the trick of, like, okay, we're going to film, like, you know, late in the day, or, like,
day for night,
or whatever, and we'll just, like, color grade, or, like, you know, futz with it, and, like, you know, kind of hue tempo, whatever, our way into nighttime. Versus, you know, doing that well, versus doing that poorly, versus, like, trying to just, you know, shoot at night, which we can now, you know, do in the last kind of, like, 30-ish years better than we could, you know, in the 80s and 70s, and not that you couldn't do it, but like when you were doing
Tell the filmmakers of House of Dragons.
Fast on the Fly, you know, Halloween, you know, ripoffs,
Yes.
like for lack of a better term. But
And it's like, tell that to the people that filmed House of Dragons, because there's an entire episode at night on the beach, and it was you can't see anything that's fucking happening.
Oh, you mean Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
No, but like all that to say, with like even just the coloring and everything, it's like it was done DIY, like it was done low budget.
Yeah,
so
all
it's
out
like
of necessity. We can forgive that. But I was gonna say, we're being very artsy fartsy about a movie that, if I'm not mistaken, I'm now again just remembering because it's been a while. One of the kills, the hair curler, right? Like that's pretty harsh and like an easy deal breaker for a lot of folks.
Sure.
So, you know, that might also be a reason why I haven't like steered into this more. Like that's what I was saying earlier about it being like maybe a little bit more sex driven and a little bit more like hard to casually throw on. But again, that's what I wanted to ask you earlier. Having not seen those sequels, like that's why I was like, well, you know, did they get more, you know, risque?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, or 4, 5,
absolutely.
6, or
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
I think like from a certain standpoint, the first movie I feel like had almost more of a tasteful nature for the kills, because
especially with the first person POV stuff, that's super cool.
and there was a very important reason as to why the first movie worked out the way it did, and it was a person, and his name was Tom Savini.
Tom Savini.
Tom Savini got called up by Sean Cunningham to do this movie because he saw his work in Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
And I don't think Day of the Dead was out yet.
The man makes
Day
good
of the Dead, I
corpses.
think, was 82
After.
or 84.
Right.
But yeah, called him up and was like, would you like to do this film? And like he was hands-on through this entire fucking film. Like the scene when Kevin Bacon bites it in his bed with the arrow getting pushed up through his neck, you'll see bubbles coming out with the blood. That's literally because Tom Savini's under that bed with a straw and a mouthful of blood going.
Which is a super cool real life detail. In the universe, that means the killer was hanging out there for a while.
Yeah.
Also, during when they were having sex.
Yeah.
So for a killer that hates teens having sex,
Yeah, Pamela's
really
a
did
perv.
hang out with them a lot.
Pamela's a perv.
She was like, I know they're gonna start fucking. I just fucking know it.
Definitely don't want to see it.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
or better yet, you don't finish. Hiya!
Hey, ah!
Just like Republicans, they tell on themselves. Ha-cha!
There he is.
A different kind of.
Yeah. No, I think.
Different type of hot poker?
Yeah, I was
get it.
also very impressed with like how original these kills were for the time being, like when this came out, because it's like, yeah, you were kind of competing with like Halloween and Black Christmas, stuff like that, where it's
into
like
the wall,
Yeah.
the choke out,
yeah, pulling somebody up through a hole in the floor and stuff like that. Like, this is all really cool stuff, but it's like, I feel like they were even still better off just being like, okay, yeah, we figured out how to use like a harpoon gun, or like we figured out how to make an archery range really scary.
This and In a Violent Nature, and if you know, you know, with that one particular sequence in that newer movie. But like, this is violence, creative violence in a different way than like Evil Dead was creative violence, because that had like elements of slapstick, and like it was practically animated, and some of the special effects, practical though they were, you know. This though is really like, this was like brainstorming like physical like disembowelments and you know, decapitations, and you know, throat slits, and
it was really cutting edge. It was such cutting edge stuff. Yeah. How can we get this to be as real as possible? How can we get this to look as good as possible? You can still look at pictures of what Jason Voorhees, like when they had him jump out of the lake and you see him in full getup.
Yeah.
There's pictures of him, like that actor in full makeup sitting next to Tom Savini, and it's like, it is a clear, good picture. And it looks, that makeup is for like half a second on film, that makeup still.
That's what I was gonna say.
There's no seams. It looks fucking perfect.
I would be like, you can't put it in the water now. It's gorgeous. It's art. You sculpted it. What do you do? Don't let
Also,
it be. But it's like, no, I gotta wear it, and I'm gonna go in the
so-
water, and I'm gonna jump up, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be like,
I feel
no.
so bad for that actor too, having to have been hiding in the water wearing all of that foam latex.
That'd be scary.
Just soaking up all of the water and just making your head 1,000 pounds.
That's gotta be so scary.
Oh God. It's like, you got this, you gotta do this in like one take, man. You gotta, I'm gonna fucking drown for real.
Sorry, the cap was on. Can we do it again?
I'm gonna die in this lake and I'm gonna come back and kill all of you.
Canonically, I will live this fantasy.
Earlier, I thought you were.
That's why I thought it was weird that you brought your mom to filming.
Earlier, I thought you were gonna say about the like first-person POV that there was one reason why it had to be that way, and it's because of the, you know, hiding the reveal of who it was, and like that was just such a, you know, cool creative thing, which we did see a little bit of in Black Christmas.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Which was so cool that it's like
remake
in
one,
Black
yeah.
Christmas, you still never got to actually see who the killer was.
And
I like that they really played those cards close to their vest.
Very much so.
And I
Super
feel like
cool.
that was Sean Cunningham ate that the fuck up and was like, I like that. Can we do that for like most of the movie? That's how I want the kills to be. I want to use the camera to stalk people.
Oh yeah, you see the kill shot is literally just arm up, hit. I'm thinking like the axe for like.
Yeah,
that's the one.
the shower scene.
Yep,
Yeah,
axe.
yeah.
Or like the slicing of the neck. It's.
Yeah, you don't even. Yeah, you just see the blade. There's not even a hand. It's just blade, and it's. I think that is such a tasteful, cool thing that they were trying to accomplish with that, which is like that's where all of the accolade comes from for this movie is the violence that was in it. This was not a movie that you didn't go to see Friday the 13th because you were looking to be blown away by how creatively written it was. You were going to see like, hey, I saw Halloween. I want more of that. I could probably do without all the exposition. Cool. Well, what if we cut Dr. Loomis out of it? What if we cut half of the dialogue?
What if we lost all the glue between the sequences? Okay.
Well, how do we glue
sign
it
us up.
together? Well, they're volunteering for a summer camp. Ah, that's perfect.
Fine.
Good.
That's
They don't know each other, so they're not invested in one
Fresh
another.
crop?
All right, sick. Nobody's gonna really like. Maybe we'll have 3 people that would care to go looking for each other. After that, we don't give a fuck.
One of my favorite Psych episodes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Friday the 13th spoof, which has what's his name from Mighty Ducks and Daredevil. Love that actor.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is in that. I was also gonna mention Final Girls.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah, the
wow.
Taissa Farmiga movie.
Great,
Like,
great movie.
yeah, that was a yes and
Come here, girl.
yes and yes. But like that movie wouldn't have existed if it weren't for like this entire genre, like this very
The-
specific thing that they tried to do here.
As
The-
we
the
mentioned, like,
silent
just-
imposing.
I'm sorry. No, the first-person POV thing. I was like with this and Black Christmas.
there
I
was
was also
another
wondering,
belly.
like, shame on me for not knowing, or us for not maybe better. I mean, this is pre-Psycho, and so less slasher, more serial killer and noir-y type stuff. But I know there's some big movies that are like big serial killer classics. Movies like M, Clute, Cruisin', Peeping Tom, Night of the Hunter. Like, these are movies that I wonder like how much they might have utilized like first-person POV and things like
For
that.
sure.
But
Yeah, I only knew like 2 of those.
I had a note from that, and I just like I forget the years off the top, but like those are like some classics that might be like things that, you know, the 2 film heads that are listening being like, how dare you not acknowledge?
Well, like Peeping Tom was what, 1960?
So that's when, yeah. So okay, right before Psycho, I guess. And
Do you guys want to hop into 09 now?
I was about to say, did you have anything else about the original? Because
I honestly, it comes down to just the special effects makeup for me. Like that, I was sadly mistaken. I think it's that lens of nostalgia that like I was like, I love this first movie so much, and then I was like, I don't think I love the first movie. I think I love the franchise. I think I like other movies in the franchise.
that's what we were saying earlier. When I was like, you know, I can get to, you know, I have affection for the franchise, the
I
character.
like it because it's the first one. I can appreciate it because it's the first one.
the weirdness, the goofiness, the innovation,
Yeah.
the you know, post Halloween of it all. But like, you know, so I like that. But like, you know, I can understand not loving the original.
Yeah, and like, I mean, The Devil You Know is better than The Devil You Don't, as we'll see moving forward. But
How do you mean?
oh, I don't like the Friday the 13th, the OG. Well, get ready 29 years later. Just you wait. Let me tell you how much you really aren't gonna like it.
Oh my God.
But really quick before we jump into it, talking about like, you know, things that came before it, like special effects. You know, what another special effects slasher is. Again, Nightmare on Elm Street. This has these special effects aspects
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
before, you know.
And which they got to play with so much more.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we'll get into it when we get to you know, Nightmare on Elm Street and everything. But like, I do love, like, again, the evolution, because it's not just like
Absolutely.
ripping off Halloween. It's like, okay, we had Halloween, we kind of tweaked it and got kind of like pulpier with it with Friday the 13th, and then, well, what can we do? Well, we've got 2 back-to-back, you know, just big hulking man slashers. What if we had not a silent sentinel? What if we had a burnt-up twink in a Christmas sweater?
That doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and is in fact like supernatural and artsy as shit, because we're getting
Yeah.
into surrealism and dream logic and like a whole other new
And
dimension.
especially with like, I feel
We're
like
not just dealing with like woodsy, you know, campy, suburban.
We're talking about
fuck
this is
you.
broad daylight.
yeah.
Well, it's anything. It's gonna be. It's
You're in
shit
class.
on the ceilings.
Because it wasn't until later that like Friday the 13th became supernatural in any sense. Like
Well-
it was only you would hit around like the 3rd movie is when it actually starts like grabbing on that it's like he's something other than a
I would
human.
say content-wise, you're right, but
Yeah.
like, you know, technically from the beginning, he is what, a reanimated water corpse boy?
Yeah, or he's like a ghost of some kind, like a vengeful spirit in some
I mean,
fashion.
I think we've already decided he's a deadite, but
Yeah, I did truly actually for the 1980. The other thing that really stuck out to me is like I like that by the end of the movie, it ends. It's more of a fucking revenge movie than anything. It has
it's
like
almost true crime if you
Yeah.
like, took all the silly out,
yeah,
you know? Like,
this is like no, I'm hunting down for a
woman.
reason. It's like there's no indiscriminate killing like The Shape. It's like no, this is like we got that reason and it's a revenge flick, and that I felt that's cool. I like that.
Again, it's not the vague, sort of almost purposelessness, unstoppable nature of Michael Myers, although that's there, but it's almost specifically targeted at these, you know, sinful camp counselors because, you know, they screwed up or they transgressed or whatever. But that was sort of subtext in Halloween. It is text in Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But if we had nothing else to kind of like
I'm ready.
illuminate about
Yeah, we
the
can jump
original.
into 09 and then we'll throw some
almost-
flowers to the in betweens.
To our friend's credit, I almost like love to like look at the 09 remake as a not terrible construction, though tasteless are many of the choices, but you can almost understand why, having understood the originals and the franchise's, you know, entries that came before, for why, there's so much nudity and stuff, even though it is, like, egregious as shit, especially just the jokes and the content. It's almost more of a comedy than a horror, for sure.
Yeah.
But it also does, like, reinterpret the first 4 movies. Like, it doesn't, get that lore up on its feet. Like, it totally just kind of, reduces the first one to essentially, like, a credit sequence, cold open, black and white, situation, flashback, right?
Yeah, we get shots of Mom.
Cool, though. Like, doing the same dialogue, more
Then
or
we
less.
get Bagface murders.
The casting is very cool. And then, it jumps into seeing Bagface Jason, kind of a quickie. Not even quickie, because it's really... Okay, wait. Okay,
Poor
wait.
choice of words.
Wait. I'm just stopping myself.
You could double
because-
down.
He
You
said-
could.
What
He
did I
said
even
quickie.
say? Well, I didn't even mean to.
He said quickie.
So much sex. Okay, wait. So if we're jumping into the 09, let's do it right and make sure people know that. Despite being something that, like I was saying, reinterprets are. Okay, so the first like 23 minutes is its own story, its own little preamble, and I love a good title card drop. And this movie has a good goddamn title card drop.
You're
late
not
in the
wrong.
game.
You're not wrong. You're
the-
looking at 13 minutes before that title card drops.
23.
23?
minutes.
Shit.
You timed it?
I watched it last night.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like
okay.
23
He paused
minutes
it.
and whatever seconds changed, I paused it. And like, but like I love a late in the game title card drop. You might have been I think you were in the bathroom. Predator Badlands has a dope ass title card drop. I loved it. Late in the movie, boom, happens. Mandy, fucking
45 minutes into the film is when the title card drops.
I love when movies do that. There's like a handful of them that do, and like we could probably find like 10 other good examples, but like
1980, Friday the 13th is the first thing you see. A Sean Cunningham
hey,
film.
it's whatever. But I think it was super cool. Like again, in structure, in idea, in conception, like a 23-minute cold open that is like separate from the rest of the movie, although it does tie into it plot-wise. Like that's clever. I like that.
Dude, they hit on everything they could in that opening too.
What they do in those 23 minutes.
Oh my god, it's great.
Like
You got trespassing.
It's more National Lamp. It's more Animal House than.
Yeah. So you got trespassing.
Christ.
You got PBR beer drinking, specifically PBR.
Pabst Blue American
Ribbon. And then you got we're
American
hunting for weed.
Literally.
And then there's sex.
Just
And then-
from the jump, they are not teens, 20-something.
Yeah. And then there's
Walking through the woods. Hold on. And there's like what? 2 women? 3 women?
3.
2. No.
2?
2, it's a 3-2
2,
split.
yeah.
It's
2
fine.
women. Whatever. It doesn't matter in the beginning because it's.
That's right. The one guy's only there for weed.
Right. Whatever.
And then what's his name? Superstore was there.
Ben Feldman, very funny guy. Look.
I saw him and I went, "Oh my god, that's Superstore."
Which a great show, very labor first, fun sitcom. Ben Feldman, I think, is hilarious. He's such a scumbag in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
And whatever, but the content is terrible, the script is stupid. They clearly were just like, oh, slasher, they want dumb sex bits, so let's give them that to the nth degree. But I gotta say, if anyone's gonna sell stupid bullshit, I'll watch Ben Feldman sell it. I don't know.
Sure. It's like, you had like trespassing, beer, weed, sex, and then top it off with Sister Christian.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, Glenn. Who's growing this weed, this marijuana, this farm?
this man. I don't know if he had a name, but I like to call him Mo. Mannequin Mo.
No, you're wrong. Actually.
No.
I'm sorry. That's incorrect. Claudio.
No.
Who was growing the weed?
Who do you think, Claudio? Do you not know who could possibly be the marijuana farmer of the 09 remake of Friday the 13th?
It's not J-Boy.
It certainly is. Based on all of the evidence and the script.
Because he's the one who's the
Now hold on, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I am 99.9% positive that Lil Kev from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, aka Mo the mannequin molester.
Yeah.
Because that is
Molester.
literally something he's doing to a mannequin and a magazine.
Oh, trust me, everybody on Reddit calls him way worse things.
I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
That was Lil Kev.
It is Lil Kev, right? That was our first thought. It was Lil Kev from It's Always Sunny. He says when he's trying to sell the weed to Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, he said he found some.
He
Yeah.
said, I found some. It's gonna fuck you up.
So
blah, blah,
wait,
blah,
who
whatever.
was growing the weed then?
There's no one else left. It's Jason. Why does he? Okay. So all right.
He's the only person on the farm.
I was gonna say you said J-Boy, and I was like, did I miss a character?
So,
No,
okay,
Jason.
let me just. Okay, so again,
J-Boy.
2009 remake, kind of fun because it has this cold open. Boom, 23 minutes in, all those weed hunting folk, they just get absolutely massacred. It's pretty cool.
There's
Except one.
pretty
as it
good,
turns out.
pretty good use of a bear trap. Pretty good use of a
great
sleeping
kills.
bag.
So I
Sleeping
was gonna
bag
say
is great.
so that's what I'm saying. Before we get into the details, so they do the 23 minutes. Boom, title card drop, and then boom. Everyone that wasn't, or everyone from the 23 minutes is killed except one, as it turns out, gets held because, and I thought it was lame at first, but then I realized the one character gets saved because she reminds Jason, genuine slip, reminds Jason of his mother, and because she's like wearing her necklace and kind of really
she
looks
gets
like her,
called out
whatever.
from a picture and a locket.
This is Jared Padalecki, Supernatural, and Texas Walker Ranger on the CW.
Nah, it's just
All due respect to Chuck Norris.
It's just Supernatural.
It's just Supernatural.
And, what was the other one? Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah. He is looking for that girl, their brother and sister, strange, whatever. So again, broad strokes. I appreciate the plot mechanics. I think that makes sense. I think that's suitable enough for like a 3-act structure of a slasher. Whatever, good enough. Again, the details. Now I feel comfortable. We can jump right in. So, like, before we get to the rest of the movie, let's talk about the.
We knew that guy
minutes.
was a douchebag right away, just because he's driving an Escalade
So the 23 minutes of the crew
with
is
the
like.
frat sticker on the back of it.
Well, you're talking about in the rest of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then in the 23 minutes, the crew is also like vaguely attractive 23 horny somethings, but like they are explicitly on a camping trip, but 2 of them are secretly looking for, like, they've heard
This
of a
weed
farm,
crop, yeah.
this like big ass crop or whatever, and lo and behold, they find it, and who doesn't appreciate that?
The owner.
Who is
Jason.
Jason Voorhees. This is what is the inciting incident. This is what kicks off the entire rest of the movie because, like, okay, so Jason's the weed farmer. That's what brings the sister in. She gets kidnapped because she's accidentally wearing the necklace that her boyfriend put on her when they were snooping around, whatever. This is what brings Jared Padalecki, Supernatural, into the rest of the mix and then feeds the rest of the movie. Before this, nobody was apparently
Jason was
like,
minding his business.
He was growing weed. He was figuring out how to farm. He was, learning agriculture. He was like probably enlivening the local economy. Hence the old lady Harbinger protecting him.
Oh my God!
But that old lady was smoking J-Boy's weed.
And not for nothing, this is a small cast when we get into the post title card rest of the movie sequence. Other than Jared Padalecki, who was like out of town, but like knows
the cop
sheriff.
was even trying to tell him to drop it too.
That's what I'm saying. He was protecting them. Like, the cops are always shitty in this franchise, from what I've read. But
Yeah.
you get into the rest of it, and like, there's nobody else, because what's his name found it, and the rest were trying to steal it. And everyone else in the movie, you got Jared Padalecki looking for his sister. They were camping near the farm, but the rest of the kids, the 20-something kids,
Other side of the lake.
the other assholes, they're not camping at all. They're using the one douchebag dad's, Grand Manor lake house, whatever the frick.
And not for nothing too, he wasn't fucking with them until they brought him back to the house.
So one of the issues I have with this movie is Jason Voorhees seems to be just kind of everywhere, huh?
He's so fast.
Well, okay.
He's so fast.
I do like that he's fast in, like, violence. The fact, though, that he...
No. I mean, just like in shadow.
So
I think
He can walk.
He
and
might
just
be a
there.
Deadite, but I think he might be a Jedi.
So
Hear me out.
it's
He might be a Jedi because he does the Jedi run. How else did he get up on the roof in that one shot?
so the funniest thing is
Sorry,
that
you go.
no.
I just...
Because they do that in the game.
Joe's
Do you
fucking
watch
tweaking.
any? Do you watch? You don't
Do
know
they do,
any
like,
game.
like speed
You don't know
dash?
any gameplay
No.
of it. Okay. Oh my God.
I've
Dude,
seen,
so
I've seen,
Yes,
like, in the
this is
purple
actually
scene.
this is
so
a cool.
he just is there.
This is cool.
And then
It almost looks
he
like N64 graphics, right? Because it's kind of...
No, that was the first Jason
No, but-
Friday the 13th game.
Okay, then I'm... Okay.
So like this is like the 20 teens.
Okay.
This is
and
like
he
an
would just stand
asymmetrical
there.
one.
Right.
He would look where he wants to go. He would channel, and all you
and charge up.
No, like you would see like channel where you want to go,
okay.
and it would literally, the camera just goes, and then you appear where you want to be.
Yeah.
So when you say
so
like
funny.
the speed, my mind immediately goes
So
channel.
that it's in universe. Then I'm with it.
Dude,
I was bitching about it.
You
no,
say that,
that's
and
amazing.
you say the Jedi run, but the only thing I'm imagining
Which only happened in
is
one
somebody
movie.
turns around and stops looking at Jason for half a second, and this motherfucker puts his arms back behind his head like Naruto and just runs at them.
Well, I feel like it's like what was the game that we would play as kids with you couldn't run.
Oh, Red
Red light,
Rover.
green light.
Yeah.
But no, I think red, green, because if you were looking at them, you can't run. But if you look
Yeah.
away, they can run. But
Squid
if you look at
Games.
them, you can't run. Because in this 09 one, so many of these dudes are just like, oh. And then they like have full-on conversations with Jason for like a good 30 seconds before Jason
Yeah,
just
dude
gets
handed him
tired
a
of
fucking
it.
hockey stick. He was like, this would match your outfit.
Yeah, the hockey stick. Gives him a hockey stick, like, bro, this would be like a cool accessory, match your outfit.
Who's my favorite character, by the way?
Yeah. How did I know?
Because he's named Chewie.
Yeah, the guy who did a fucking shoey.
But he's also funny. Like, the other dude that wasn't trying to get laid sucked. He was just jerking off to a Sears catalog, super weird, making odd, awkward racial humor. I didn't like him.
Didn't
very much at
appreciate
all.
him. No, the thing that pissed me off about that is, okay, dude burns his lip, breaks the chair. Guy who owns the house is like, you broke my dad's fucking chair. And he's like, I'll fix it. And he's like, the tools are in the shed. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll get the tools. I'll come back and fix the chair.
Then he just
Guy
fucks around in his shit.
the owner of the house fucks off to go bang somebody in his room. Guy is
Cheats
left
on his
alone
girlfriend.
for what I can assume would only be 3 to 5 minutes while the guy is getting the tools to come back and fix the fucking chair. Well, were you planning on fucking trying to jerk one out before he came back?
Well, to his
What
credit,
are
it
you
did seem
doing?
like this was hours after the dude had to gone to the shed and got
And also, it's like,
but-
no, I gotta smoke weed and jerk off before I go look for my missing friend. Priorities, guys.
But to your credit, so that's like
Self-care,
the thing,
self-love.
to your credit, that's the thing with the movie that I couldn't get over. Like, this could have been.
How the hell do you think I love somebody?
Can I get an amen? Amen. I'm sorry.
I'm dead.
I'll let you guys finish.
He said, can I get an amen? I'm so sorry. I'm in 4th grade. So anyway, back to this man jerking
Yes,
off.
as you were saying.
I was just gonna say, to your credit, about like how fucking ridiculous it is that this dude is like just ready to just like jerk off like in the living room of the shared
In the living,
space.
the wall is literally windows.
But so, as much as I really appreciate like the structure, the ideas, the
But he was worried about the deer head. Not anything else, just the deer head looking at him.
That was the one thing he got shy about. Again, so fucking stupid. So okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. So like, despite like a lot of the good things, a lot of the good big ideas, like the fact that we see Jason like evolve from Baghead to the mask, which by the way, that was really convenient. He loses his bag face mask because someone pulls it off, and he's like, "That's not good enough anymore," and immediately looks down and just happens to see
Could
the
have been
hockey
worse.
mask.
Joe, it could have been worse.
Well, so I do wanna ask you-
He could have pulled the wig off the mannequin. Walking around with a bob.
Well, so I was gonna ask you.
Yes, bitch, slay.
I was gonna ask you, how did he get the hockey mask in the third one?
So the
Was it
hockey
also, like,
mask
you
was
just found it?
worn by somebody who was like pranking another person because they were like, there's a killer in these woods, and they do the whole like
So there's a little bit of
jump
backstory.
scare thing, and it was like, no, it's just me, and he takes the mask off and he's fucking with him, and then it's like, or fucking with this lady, and then they start kind of messing around, and then Jason shows up and does something, and he's like, ooh, this is so much cooler than a potato sack.
So not much better than just finding it in rubble, but
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
At
and
least there was a
literally
character behind
the
it.
thing that I love about this whole thing with like Jason wearing the mask. It also kind of comes across as the same way as Michael Myers wearing the mask. Is like, why do they wear the mask? What is the reason for it, right? Michael, a little bit more humanistic, a little more like personified as a person.
Like,
We
It's
understand.
almost
William
asked
Shatner.
him. It's
Yeah. Well, it is in the lore that
William
it's like
Shatner mask, right?
Yeah. That, like that
So we all
like
know.
Michael is just a troubled individual. So it's like, yes, if he's just trying to like
We think.
Yeah,
We really don't know.
It's removing his humanity. It's like you can kind of look at it in his eyes that he's removing his own humanity and becoming the shape.
I think,
Or
it's
maybe
just
he's
more
trying to gain it. He's wearing a man mask, not a blank mask.
True.
Although it is a blank man mask. But, like, there's a lot of ways you can interpret it. Again,
Yeah.
it's the shape.
The thing is as we go through the entire franchise, Jason Voorhees is constantly wearing the mask, right?
In some way.
And in a couple of the movies, he even like pulls the mask up like out of like you'll get the camera shot over his shoulder, and like I think in like one of the movies he pulls the mask up and scares children and then puts it back down and keeps walking. He knows what the fuck he looks like. Are you telling me that this undead creature is like, I wear a mask because I'm ugly?
Yeah, I very
He's
much think that's the
self-conscious
case.
and undead?
Men can be multifaceted too, you know.
I think it's very, like, kind of clear in the 09 version, at least, that, like, yeah, he's ashamed, because, like, before he slits the one dude's throat, before he gets his hockey mask, the guy, like, pulls it off.
ain't right.
Goes, dude, that shit ain't right. Like, I feel like it was very pointed, and actually, like, it does, because, I mean, literally the next thing he does is, like, all right, that was not good enough. I need to hide my, because I actually...
Well, that and also he tore the mask off his head. So
that's what I'm saying,
his sack was
practically, but,
ripped,
like,
yeah.
well, then, you know, why did he have, to your credit, like, why did he have the mask
Like,
in
I
the
can
first
see
place?
it being, like, a residual thing from, like, time with his mother, where his mom was like, yeah, like, you're ugly, like, I love you, and
Not
no one
the
else
quasi-Frollo, like, approach.
Kind of, yeah, where
I
it's
don't
like,
think
you're
it's a-
ugly and no one else is gonna love you like I can love you. So it's like she would, like, have him hide his face, and it's like, maybe that carried over in some fashion. But, like, the thought of this undead hulking being that murders people being like, I'm self-conscious about the way I look. It's like, that's interesting to me.
If no one fucked with his weed, he wouldn't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I think it makes as much sense as Michael Myers, you know, exercising his trauma, whatever it was.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
guess.
that makes a lot of sense to me. And in fact, it humanizes him and, like, adds depth and dimension and, like, a childlike, you know, quality that is more explicit than whatever the fuck is going on with Michael Myers. Because, again, until Rob Zombies, I feel like we really don't
Sure.
have, like, an explicit, you know, reason, even with
Is it?
Jamie Lee Curtis. But what I was saying earlier is that, like, okay, even, like, I was curious about, like, where the mask thing, like, how that was interpreted. But despite, like, doing that and that evolution, like, all the other cool things that I think, like, this movie does do, because a lot of the kills are very creative, and I, like, want to get into, like, favorite kills from this movie. But, for all the good things it does, it also just has guys, like, jerking off in the middle of the cabin for no good reason, just so we can make a weird Sears
Or
deer
an
joke.
entire
Or-
sex scene from start to finish.
Or, well, yeah, God, yeah, there's so much just, like, borderline porn.
Stupendous.
Stupendous.
Like,
hits.
who the fuck wrote this scene?
That's the thing. Like, these are the horniest script writers, directors, like, ever.
But it's also they're just not good at their job because,
No.
like,
It's not that sexy or
and,
that
and
funny.
I quote,
Like, what-
your tits are stupendous. Who the fuck wrote that?
And who is it for? but like, so, like, you have all
They're
that
like,
dumb
he's a
shit.
college bro. He's definitely gonna have like a Webster's dictionary.
But, like, more, like, logic questions. I had a big issue with, like, what are the locations in this movie? Like, what are the weird underground railroad tunnel systems of the miners
That
underneath?
was something I did not
Yeah.
love. I did not love the fucking the rat tunnels underneath the cabins and shit. But it's also that gives credence to how does he move around so quickly? The idea of him having secret passages. And shit.
I
Sure.
had the immediate thought. It makes sense if you think about it for 5 seconds, fine. But, like, that's still a wildly elaborate detail to just
Did
kind of, like,
he make those?
not
Did he
even
find them?
acknowledge. Not even acknowledge.
Yeah, did he make them? Did he find them? Because he had like the tripwire set up so that way you could hear when people are walking around.
And so I say all that to say that, like, the script very clearly was prioritizing, like, gags, violence, tits, and, like, very little else. Despite the fact that, like, clearly the costume designers did great work, clearly the set designers did great work, but, like, the script pays so little mind to any of it. And, like, I don't really fully understand, like, you know, yeah, the opening is clearly like, okay, this crop of weed they're trying to camp at is near Camp Crystal Lake. They say Camp Crystal Lake about 8,000 times. They show the sign about 8,000 times. Like, they're very
But
explicit.
Joe, literally, you know how many other lakes are named Crystal Lake?
You know how many places are called Haddonfield?
But then, like, you're not getting a lot of cabins, or you are, but, like, there's the underground bits, but then you're in the lake house manor, and like so that's just nearby. And I guess it makes sense that this rich dude's big real estate would also be near abandoned land, like an old camp. But like, it's too much work that I have to think about. You should seamlessly be, visually incorporating this. Like that's your job as the movie.
Yeah.
Not my job as the watcher of the movie.
Fair.
But that's just, again, like, so just, like, knocking on the script, not just for, like, gratuitous tits and blah, blah, blah. Because, like, again, like, it's not that about being humorless. Like, and I do think it's kind of funny sometimes.
You're not yelling at all of it. You're yelling at Platinum Dunes.
Well, and again, produced in part with Michael Bay. Like, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you don't say. I kind of got that when we were topless water skiing.
Yeah, but okay, not for nothing. I love me some Ryan Hansen. My boy from Party Down and Veronica Mars. One of the funniest, like, again, him, Ben Feldman, like,
That was the worst. That was the
dumb
worst
jokes.
fucking haircut in the entire.
But he
goddamn
rocked it for
news.
like 15 years. He still probably is. I don't even know. No, he had got
it looks like that surfer bro dude that was on Tosh.0 like fucking 80 years ago that does the bowl cut. It's just awful.
Bowl cut.
But he was very funny. I loved him in this. So like, whatever. Fun cast. Chewie was fun. Any favorite kills? I really enjoyed the machete through the floor. Was that a kill?
That was actually the one I was about to bring up. Yeah.
After the dude got impaled, she hid under the thing, and then just everything's. You hear it's suspense and just.
Is that from the original?
No. That's her.
That's a different kill.
Yeah, that's her underneath the dock.
That's my favorite, maybe.
Oh wait, are we not talking about
No.
09 or
When
talking about 8?
09.
No, I'm talking about 09. I was saying the machete through the floor bit.
Yeah.
What was that the one you were talking about?
That was at the beginning.
Okay. So I was saying that one of my favorite kills in the 09 movie is earlier on, I think in the first 23 minutes, when a machete is coming through the floor of the cabin.
Yeah.
Not the dock kill.
Not down, up.
Yes.
Got
Yeah, a
it.
floor of a cabin, not the dock.
Yeah,
on the
that
dock.
was the one
Okay.
I was going to bring up.
Okay.
I love both
Because
of
it was
them.
shortly after they found Pamela's head.
Yes.
then-
okay.
And they
then
hear the steps outside, and then it starts coming up to the floor. And then it's just fucking arms come up and pull him. Just pulling a man
Yeah.
Brutal.
through a hole in the floor.
Right.
You don't see shit from that point on, but fuck.
But so like, okay, Bagface is from other movies, right? Mom is from other movies. Getting the hockey mask is from other movies, like 1, 2, 3, obviously. But so, okay, getting into kills then. The sleeping bag kill, I know is from, like, what, the original?
X.
Or that's just 10?
Well,
I don't know when the kills are from various
the
movies.
one that's
Yeah.
dangling from the tree.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sleeping bag kill.
He does it.
that's what
That's an
09.
homage to...
Yeah, that was 09.
earlier
It was the sleeping bag kill there.
But they did it in an earlier
in
one,
10, he didn't set them on fire. He put them in a sleeping bag, banged them against the tree.
That's the one.
But that's not just from 10. That was in an earlier one, wasn't it? Or was that just 10?
No, that was just 10.
just 10?
Because he was in a
Fucking
holodeck.
crazy.
He was in a holodeck.
Oh, right! Yes.
That's why it looked like it was at a camp.
Which this one's almost tame compared to that.
Yeah! There was no androids in this movie.
Well, I just meant the sleeping bag. But okay, but so again, homage to the thing. Was the machete through the floor, this is what I was asking, was that done in other movies prior?
Not that I can remember.
No.
Okay, that's what I was curious
don't
about.
think so,
I like
no.
that. I thought that was cool. The dock one was the other one that I thought was like, okay, how, like, again, did it just so that we can get more tits on this one before? So if you haven't seen it, what happens is this woman is in the lake. Jason, of course, does not ever want to go back in the lake, though it may give him his supernatural power. Who knows? Whatever. But he's like standing on the dock. This woman's trying to like hide under the water, under the dock. She thinks maybe she's protected. She kind of bobs her head up. The water's, about here, like it would be in a normal, human being way. And then through the slits of the wood of the dock, like he gets his machete, boom, through her top of the skull. But then
Pulls her up out of the water.
pulls her up to, get his machete back and also pull her up, which again gives us one last glimpse at, if I'm not mistaken, a Playboy model's breasts.
Boobs.
And, yeah, boobs. And, again, so crass, so dumb, but like...
But you're cutting out the best part of that entire
Oh, wait, I was
scene.
gonna say, very, kind of clever. Kind of really, really clever to do a crass, dumb thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, it was like you're cutting out the best part of that entire part. Like the fact that like Jason managed to archery range some dude's fucking face on a speedboat moving at speed.
Oh, Ryan Hansen.
From across the lake.
Ryan Hansen.
No, he just went.
Now,
Which way's the wind blowing? Bam!
Now,
And then the boat was lined up perfectly to hit her.
which brutal.
Which was
Pretty brutal.
I thought it would have been so much better if she got chewed up by the fucking
Not for nothing.
Motor.
yeah.
Bitch, couldn't you have just ducked under the water and swum under the water? You were just like, don't do it!
And it's
But yeah, Ryan
she got the
Hansen was driving.
manatee treatment.
So wait, Jason's never bow and arrowed. He's never archeried, but Pamela had.
Was that 3?
3 he did.
Oh,
yes.
he did. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
that was just
Pamela
in the
did
first
too.
one.
Pamela
Okay.
did too.
Okay, so then there's precedent for that as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, as all the dumb sex stuff is, and like the
But
dumb
typically-
like jerking off stuff and like weed smoking stuff is, I do like the attention that they paid to paying homage to some of the kills
Certain
and getting just creative.
I
with
don't
the
think
others.
we've ever seen Jason holding the arrow, like the bow, to
It's
shoot
been-
the bow and arrow. He's almost always picked up the arrow and pushed it into people because he's just that strong.
So my 100% absolute favorite that like makes me like want to like this movie, even though it's like 2.5 out of 5 stars at best. But like if they got rid of all the dumb sex shit and made it more in a violent nature, like it could have been like it could have been like a really whatever.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm basing this on, largely this one shot, if you recall, where it's the cop, it's the sheriff, whatever, getting killed, and I don't know if it's an arrow or like a fire poker because it feels
I think
so.
it's the fire poker.
It feels
yeah.
so like iron wrought,
Yeah,
kind of whatever.
It's the fire.
Okay.
It's the fire poker
Fire
that the dude took out to the shed to go find Chewie.
It's so cool. So like the cop, whatever he is, sheriff is like, up against the door or whatever, or like running toward the door, whatever. He gets near the door and whatever. Jason like swings, or I don't know if it's like this way or this way, but whatever. He's swinging his arm. He's got the poker. It goes through the dude, stabs him, impales him, gets him through the door. But it's so cool because the camera is doing one fluid motion. And it's so smooth, and it's just like a mid-camera, like mid-whatever, like waist-shoulder level. And it goes, from Jason's arm, stabbing the dude, impaling him into the door, going through, like, the wall, like it's not there. The camera, goes through, and, like, meets
Shows
Jared
it come through
Padalecki
the other side,
and,
yeah.
and the chick, whichever, I forget which,
They're hiding in the bathroom or
Bangs
something,
whatever her
right?
name was. Them on the other side of the door,
Yeah.
and just the camera doing that one smooth, fluid motion, like as the
There was a
kills going
couple
through.
moments that were like that. There was a couple
damn.
moments that the camera work was actually pretty clever.
Hot damn! Like
The-
that's some cool shit.
Towards the beginning when the douchebag people showed up to the general store, and then they go shopping, they piss off Jared Padalecki, they get back into the truck. There's like a shot where they're all getting into the Escalade, but they're starting from the front seat, and you see the front people go, and the camera is like sitting in between the seats, and it pulls back and back and back and back and back, and it zooms through the car and then out the back, and then the door gets shut.
No.
And then they like begin to drive away, and I'm like, that's a cool fucking shot.
Yeah, very much so.
Like, I love shit like
It was
that.
also not established, but like meant to end on, or seeing, or no, I'm maybe thinking of a different shot where you see that Jared Padalecki put the missing poster sign on the back of the car. Whatever, I just hated Ted so much. I wanted Supernatural to just really tear into him, and he didn't, and he still got killed, of course, and it was great, but
Yeah.
could have watched that 10 more times.
Well, it's
Dude
like
sucked.
with the teleportation thing that he kind of does throughout the entire movie too. It's like I wrote down in my notes. I was like, oh look, Supernatural ×2. Jared and Jason both Supernatural.
I think I got out all the good things that I was really like pumped for with this movie. And
Yeah,
then,
I thought it was cool that they introduced like it within keeping it to the original and then kind of moved past it. Like the fact that they were introducing more subplots to everything, like that was kind of a cool deal. Like I think it definitely benefited from time passing and people figuring out what we like, what we don't like, different tropes that you can use and reuse and not use, stuff like that. I thought that was all pretty cool.
did you not get a little bit of an impression that they were kind of thinking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre a lot too?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
Because there is a hook, impale, kill. And then there's also the one shot where, is it Ted? Someone's running in the woods and he just finds a tow truck that has like, like arms and hooks and chains hanging off and
Yep.
like fog and light and smoke and they really linger on it for like a minute. And I'm like, are they giving Jason a fucking tow truck? And like, I was really questioning if that's what I was about to see.
Dude,
like,
when he impaled
stick
him
his,
on
like,
the back of
shoulder
that
out the
fucking-
window and be
yeah.
like, hey, it's me.
When they impaled his ass on the back of that truck, I was like, this
That's
is
what it was.
fucking
Oh,
great.
that was dope, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one.
But then like it's an old man is like the driver, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's not a man.
I like and again, like the old man gets away, and it's like I feel like it's just thus showing that the community is very aware of this, which is why no one wanted to help Jared Padalecki find his sister.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
Which means, again, either he's been killing campers and visitors, the whole time, and just no one's talked about it, and this is just the first one that we're watching, or it means that he was a peaceful marijuana farmer until these assholes, led by Ben Feldman from Superstore, trampled all over his shit and made him think about his mom, and he then zipped him.
Yeah,
Doesn't like to
zipped him,
be
Doc.
unzipped.
Man, zip me, Doc.
And then, that's what I was gonna ask.
Froggy.
So does he not like get any kind of like explicit death until 4?
Jason,
Yeah.
I believe so.
And is it also like a wood chippery chain choke situation?
No.
Okay.
The chain is involved, yes, but the chain is to chain him
curious
to the
about that.
bottom of the lake. That comes in a later one, though.
So and just because I feel like we didn't answer this question, does Lil Kev live in that abandoned barn where he's just molesting mannequins and working on
And
engines?
jerking off and smoking weed.
Like, so that's what I meant by the locations. Like, okay, the cabin, the camp, but then like that barn. Like, again, does that man
All right,
just
so
live there? Like,
here's the really
it's abandoned, but not. He lives there. There's.
I don't know if he's done this, but there is an artist that I know of that does murder maps for horror movies.
Oh.
Yes.
I
So like
love that stuff.
he'll do like infographics that are like it's a full map and it shows the entire area and
Where everyone was
he'll
killed,
plant where
with
the
what
I don't
weapon.
know if he's
Oh.
done
I love that stuff.
Camp Crystal Lake before.
I
I gotta find him. I'll figure out who
That's
it
actually
is.
really
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, he does really cool art. Jim has several of his maps, which
That's
is
so
really
awesome.
fucking cool. Yeah,
Best Where's Waldo.
yeah. And it's like it's just fun. Like the one that jumps to my mind is that he has like there's a map of the mall from Dawn of the Dead, the original. There's also a map of the entire, not the whole county, but like it's all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres for like that stretch of the area. Yeah,
Damn.
like that's fucking cool.
I'd love to see how fast or how far Jason warps on his map.
Yeah, right? Christ. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into the others because like I know that you guys haven't seen all of them, so I don't really want to spoil too much because it's like there are some like really creative things in that, but it's like I was gonna say if you guys had any other favorite kills from any of the other movies, but like I don't really want to fucking spoil too much of that because there are some really good ones in the later ones.
I mean, Jason X has like probably that's like the iconic one. But if I had to pick one
The
from what we're
cryo
talking-
smash, yeah.
the one where we had to pick one from here, it's the sleeping bag. That's
Sleeping
just
bag was good.
Co-starring David Cronenberg, right? Isn't he one of the scientists?
I think so, yeah.
Just fun.
that
fun
is so
overlap.
hilarious. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like
Does a good job.
There's a couple in like Takes Manhattan that I absolutely
Can't wait.
adore.
I'm really excited.
Oh my God. Yeah.
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 There's a couple on the boat. There's a couple off the boat, and I'm just like, I love all of that.
Yep.
I know it's probably like maybe the least favorite, but like Goes to Hell. I'm just so curious how they did the worm thing, the weird mask, and the FBI getting
It's
involved,
fucking
and like
strange.
what?
And also, speaking of like, what's a nice little connection between the two? Jared Padalecki, very famously from Supernatural, in Jason Goes to Hell. I cannot remember. I can never remember this actor's name, but the one of the actors that Jason jumps into and is in him for a majority of the movie is played by the same guy who played Rufus in Supernatural, who was another one of the hunters.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Love that connective tissue.
So it's like I do think it's funny.
Steven Williams?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Creighton Duke.
So it's like I do think it's like kind of funny that they do call back to Supernatural ties in some fashion or another. Like, yeah.
Wink.
Like, and then actually speaking of Supernatural, I think Jensen Ackles also did early 2000s horror movie remake, right?
What I mean, what haven't we done? Was it Last House on the Left? Was it is he in
Oh my God! How
Elm Street?
foolish of me.
Are we dumb?
My Bloody Valentine.
Oh my God! Yes.
We'll get there soon. Very soon.
That's
Like,
a good
it's
one.
I'm like,
it's right there.
How
What year?
foolish of
What
me.
year?
You want to take a guess?
Oh, 09.
Was it 09?
It was 09.
The boys had a bye year. It was just like, all right, cool. Well, we're not filming.
I bet they literally did. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
we're not filming. And you know what? I guarantee you, both of those movies filmed in Canada.
Wouldn't that be so fucking funny?
It is. It's got to be because that's where they filmed Supernatural. Which is I only know that because like a bunch of like the extras in Supernatural. Canada has this really cool thing. It's cheap to film there, but if you film there, you have to use some amount of people from Canada to be in it. And if you watch Supernatural, a handful of the people from Letterkenny are in it. In reoccurring roles.
Oh my God.
There's also an episode of Psych that Jared Keeso is in. Keeso?
Yeah. He's also in the 2014 Godzilla.
Oh my God, yeah, he's one of the soldiers, yeah.
He's he was getting fan casted as the next Wolverine. But and I can see that.
I mean, I can see that too.
But
The only downside to it is he's I don't know if I could see Wolverine as being a ginger.
so in the comics there is a blonde version.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But shoot, there was something. It doesn't matter anyway.
And I think that it's a decent proposal, and I suggest you let that marinate.
Oh yeah, there's another one where there's some overlap between what's her name? The one weird bar owner in Letterkenny.
Gail.
Gail is also on Schitt's Creek. Those are both.
Oh my God, yes.
Productions as well. No, I do love it when there's like that sort of cast overlaps with production companies and casting crews and shit.
No, I think on the whole, like the whole franchise, I think should be taken as the whole franchise. When you start piecing it out for this one, that's when it starts to fall apart. Whereas it's kind of the opposite with Halloween. When you start looking at the whole franchise, that's when it's falling apart. But if you're looking at individuals, it stays.
I can see that.
Yeah, if you sell it to me like that, I'd buy it.
Yeah, it's.
Speaking of buying things, it's been so long since a new addition to the Friday the 13th universe. We might be getting a new movie and a series.
The game.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Any like?
I welcome the new additions because I think while it's not my favorite, it's well overdue.
Is there anything that you like want to see, don't want to see, like expectations, like don't fuck around with this, like better show me that, like anything like that? Just as you guys know it better than I do. I'd be happy with. I mean, God, I want more in a Violent Nature.
I want it to be like more of a period piece. I don't want it to be current.
You don't want it modernized?
I don't want it
80s again?
modernized. I want it 80s or 90s.
Like early 80s, late 70s.
Yeah.
I want the
Like-
I want the crops.
Yeah,
No.
like fucking like Stranger Things, that shit, man. Like I want to live in that like 80s 90s vibe. Like I think that shit would be.
But
so
don't let
cool.
any of the cast members support Israel.
Hatch that part.
I don't know, guys. Take out whatever you need to.
He said the quiet part out. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I can get behind it being a period piece. I would enjoy like how we've asked questions of why the mask, or like maybe getting a little touch of like why like and a definitive like, and that's obviously not the absolute.
Do you feel
because-
like that would be explaining too much though?
The fact that like you were speaking to like the detail I put into the deformities of the makeup in the original.
I
feel
mean,
like that's almost explanation
across so many of the movies. Like the fact that they
He's
have.
always.
It doesn't matter what the
cool
what
under
the
there.
concept is for the movie or how progressed his condition
cool, dude.
is. They almost always have a sculpt for underneath of the mask, which is crazy detail. Like you could go online and search Jason Unmasked, and there's an unmasked picture of him for every single
one.
movie.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't say it's a need, but it'd be interesting to see what they would do with that. Like with what free reign they have, you know. Are they going to follow the same suit of like, is Jason even going to be the one that's going to be for Crystal or Pam? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So
or
you
could
guys
we
know-
follow time in the in-between of where it's like maybe there's a copycat killer?
I should have mentioned they've casted Pamela Voorhees for the TV
Yes,
series.
I
Do you know who
forgot.
it is?
No.
I forgot to write it down. Shoot.
You want me to tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Linda Cardellini. So like that's I'm sad it's not Brian Fuller, but hey, we love her.
It's Velma.
So I think that will be very cool.
It's Velma.
But yeah,
I mean, among other accolades, like she's not just Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, no.
She was also the hot lady in Grandma's Boy.
we do love Grandma's Boy in this house, in this basement.
Are we not going to talk about Chutney Wyndham in Legally Blonde?
What is
What?
what?
She was
Ted?
Chutney Wyndham in
I
Legally
did not
Blonde.
watch Legally Blonde all that much. I saw it once.
I've been introduced to it recently. I loved it.
I saw it once years ago.
I don't remember wait, who are we talking? What actor are we talking about?
Chutney.
Lisa.
What a fucking name.
Okay.
Or Linda. Linda
Linda.
Cardellini
Oh.
was Chutney Wyndham.
Okay, but like, okay, I don't remember them by name.
Her name.
The Perm.
Oh right, yeah, weird cousin or whatever. Yeah.
The one who's like, I didn't mean to shoot him. Or
Psycho. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely. That's what because I was like, I don't remember her being in that. Yeah.
Perm.
Glasses
Because she
and
had a perm.
I remember it now. Yeah.
God damn it. Oh, shit. Wow, how did we land on Legally Blonde?
Linda Cardellini.
I'm gonna incorporate.
That's so funny.
I'm incorporating musical theater into every single recording from
No,
this
that's
point
just
forward.
so funny.
Fuck.
Oh, man, we are officially off the rails and thrown into the lake and drowned.
So
Oh.
Reese Witherspoon will not be in the new Friday the 13th.
What about
stuff.
Reese without her spoon?
But you know who's going to be in The Exorcist for Mike Flanagan?
Hmm.
Scarlett Johansson.
I did hear about that, actually, yes.
Which, not to just jump onto other stuff at the end of our Friday the 13th episode, but...
Well, I mean,
Speaking of ladies
yeah.
being in stuff, hey, yeah, Final Girls, whatever. Horror.
But if you guys are good, I think I'm good.
Yeah,
I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's my Little Caesars.
Yeah.
It is...
You know what? Yes.
Is it good? It's hot and it's ready.
It's
But is
hot
it
and
good?
it's ready.
It's hot
and it's
ready.
It's HOTTOGO.
And it's hot. Exactly.
And hey, it's got the good cheesy bread that you can't get in other places.
You know the cheesy
sometimes
bread
or
isn't bad,
whatever.
yeah.
So like there are
It
bits,
hits the spot. It hits the spot.
and there are bits that I would argue like it's earned and it's we can be proud of that. Whatever.
Well, if you guys are good, that'll about do it for us at the podcast downstairs. We hope you had as much fun as we did. You can catch up on previous episodes on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all those things. Burn us, throw us in the lake, whatever. We always come back. It doesn't matter. We'd like to thank our producer and tech wizard, Don, as well as Not Great Entertainment for all of our help setting up the pod. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, stay out of the basement.
In the lake.
And don't
And
have
the lake.
sex.
Yeah. Don't do any of that.
Don't have fun.
Just don't go to camp.
No weed.
Don't go.